Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going straight into a film that might have slipped past you, but honestly, it's packed with clever twists.
Oh, yeah.
And characters you won't forget. We're talking about the 1973 thriller Charlie Varrick.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this as, well, your fast track to understanding why this seemingly simple crime movie. It's directed by Siegel, stars Walter Matthau.
The always compelling Walter Matthau.
Exactly. Why it's worth a much closer look.
Right. We've taken a really good look at what makes this film tick. And, it turns out it's much more than just a heist gone wrong. It's it's a fascinating look at how someone survives when everything goes sideways.
Totally sideways.
In, the worst possible way.
So picture this for a moment. Walter Matthau. He's in a role that really lets him show his range, playing Charlie Varrick.
Huh.
And he's not your typical tough guy. He's a small-time crop duster, a former stunt pilot.
Right, knows how to handle pressure.
Let's put it that way, yeah. So he and his crew, including his wife, they decide to rob this little bank in New Mexico. Sounds straightforward.
Seems like it, but nope.
Almost immediately, it just spins out of control. The robbery gets messy. His wife and a partner are killed.
Awful.
And then the shocker... They realized the bank wasn't just holding local deposits. It was stuffed with unmarked cash. Mob money.
Serious mob money. And that's the moment the whole game changes, right?
Completely.
Suddenly, Charlie isn't just, looking over his shoulder for the local sheriff. He's in the sights of this very powerful, very dangerous criminal organization.
Oh, yeah.
And they send this truly cold-blooded hitman, Molly, played with this unsettling calmness by Joe Don Baker.
Chilling.
Yeah, to hunt him down. So what unfolds is this really intense, high-stakes chase, and Charlie has to rely purely on his intelligence to survive. It's not about who shoots faster.
No.
It's about who can think smarter.
Okay, let's really dig into that. The plot, the way the story's structured. At first glance, and, a lot of viewers have noted this, Charlie Varrick feels like this really tight, efficient crime thriller.
It does. It's very lean.
You're constantly wondering, how is he going to navigate this impossible situation? But when you step back, you start to see maybe a deeper commentary.
Mm-hmm.
One perspective we found called it a meditation on survival, ingenuity, and the death of the American outlaw. What jumps out at you when you hear that?
Well, what's fascinating there is how the film kind of flips the script on the usual heist movie.
Right.
There's no glamour, no excitement about being a criminal here. Charlie isn't dreaming of some luxurious retirement or, easy money.
Easy street.
His motivation is much more primal.
Yeah.
Just disappear. Get away clean.
Mm-hmm.
And the structure of the film mirrors this. It's not a series of over-the-top action sequences building to some big celebratory payoff.
Not at all.
Instead, it's methodical.
Mm-hmm.
Almost step by step, watching Charlie's plan unfold, his plan to evade capture.
It really does feel like a chess match on screen, doesn't it?
Totally.
Charlie's constantly anticipating, always thinking several moves ahead. One analysis we looked at really stressed that he's a planner, a manipulator, not some muscle-bound enforcer.
Yeah, his mind is his weapon.
You really get that sense. And it's interesting how the plot, while it seems straightforward, has these hidden layers. You catch glimpses of his broader strategies, these subtle moves that only really make sense later on.
Towards the end, yeah.
It definitely rewards paying close attention, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you put Charlie Varrick next to other crime thrillers, it really stands apart from the ones that maybe romanticize the outlaw life.
Good point.
There's none of that rebellious charm of, say, Bonnie and Clyde or The Adventure of Butch Cassidy.
No, it's much more grounded. Almost cynical, really. A cynical look at that whole criminal underworld.
Spot on.
Okay, let's shift focus. The characters, those unforgettable performances. Walter Matthau as Charlie Varrick. Just, wow.
Incredible, isn't he?
For an actor so known for comedy, he delivers this performance that's just mesmerizing. So stoic, so world-weary, but with this sharp intellect always working underneath.
Mm-hmm.
One review called it a grim, tight-lipped performance, and that really nails it. You see the gears turning, but he reveals so little.
Yeah, what's so compelling about his portrayal is how he creates this captivating antihero without big speeches or dramatic outbursts.
Right.
He's just a man trying to survive using his wits.
Yeah.
And then you have Joe Don Baker as Molly.
Whoa. Talk about the opposite.
Complete opposite. This terrifying, slick, sadistic enforcer who clearly enjoys his job, his brutal profession.
He really seems to.
He's a force of nature. And Baker plays him with this chilling lack of emotion that just makes him even more threatening.
And John Vernon as the mob bank guy. that smooth but unsettling menace.
Oh, yeah. Always on the edge.
Always feels like he's about to lose it, right?
Yeah.
Trying to keep control, but you can see the walls closing in.
Definitely. And Andy Robinson, too. Smaller role as the injured accomplice.
Right, Harmon.
That nervous energy he has really contrasts with Matthau's cool demeanor.
And it's interesting he was Scorpio in Dirty Harry, another Siegel film.
Good connection.
Yeah.
It really feels like this collection of hard, self-interested men operating in this bleak world where loyalty, compassion, they just don't exist.
Oh, room for it.
Precisely. There's this palpable sense of moral ambiguity hanging over the whole film. It's reflected in every character. You won't find any clear heroes here.
No white hats.
Everyone's just looking out for number one in a very unforgiving world.
Okay, let's talk Don Siegel's direction. Sources consistently mention his lean, no-nonsense precision.
Yes.
And, having done Dirty Harry, The Killers, you can definitely see that signature style here in Varrick.
Absolutely, that efficiency.
The pacing, as people note, it's tight, it's deliberate, it doesn't rush, but it steadily builds this underlying tension that keeps you completely invested.
Siegel's approach is very focused.
Yeah.
He really emphasizes the practical side of Charlie's plan.
Yeah.
The step-by-step execution of his deception.
You see him doing it.
Yeah, we see him meticulously taping phone lines, planting false clues. These small, realistic details that make his actions feel believable.
Grounded.
Yeah, and the action, when it happens, is brief.
Yeah.
Impactful, not drawn out or gratuitous. It serves a purpose.
Totally. There's a real focus on realism, atmosphere. Like one analysis said, it's a film of restraint. No flashy camera work, no unnecessary style, just this raw, authentic feel.
Gritty.
And that's boosted beautifully by Bruce Surtees' cinematography, those sun-drenched desert landscapes.
The look is fantastic.
The rundown diners, the quiet, almost forgotten small towns. It paints this vivid picture of, like, a fading America.
And what's visually striking is how those huge open spaces, they seem like freedom. Right?
Yeah, you'd think.
But they actually underscore how limited Charlie's options are becoming. He's out in this vast landscape, but he's being hunted relentlessly. That freedom feels, well, unreachable.
Good point. It's a visual trap.
Yeah. And there's this quiet beauty, a kind of poetry, in how Surtees captures the worn-out cars, the dusty airstrips. These details add so much texture to Charlie's quiet fight.
His quiet war for survival. And we can't skip the sound and score here, Lalo Schifrin's score.
Oh, fantastic score.
Often described as cool, jazzy, slick, a little funky, a little noir.
Yeah, it fits Charlie's energy perfectly. Clever, low-key.
And it's subtle, right? It doesn't blast you. It kind of sneaks in, enhances the tension without overwhelming things.
Exactly. Like Charlie himself, it sneaks in. And the sound design is so crisp, so precise.
You really notice it.
You notice the hum of airplane engines, the sharp ring of telephones.
Yeah.
These small sounds heighten the realism, the ever-present threat. Even the silences feel charged.
Yeah, the quiet moments are tense. So when you bring all this together, the plot, characters, Siegel's direction, the visuals, the sound, you start to see these deeper themes bubbling up. The biggest one, I think, is brains over brawn. Charlie's not going to win a fistfight or a shootout.
Not against Molly, no way.
His survival depends entirely on outthinking everyone. He's the ultimate strategist.
And for you listening, if you like stories where intellect is the main weapon, Charlie Varrick is a prime example.
Absolutely.
He doesn't use muscle or intimidation. He's constantly analyzing, planning, adapting. He's the quintessential survivor using his mind against impossible odds.
And then there's that really compelling theme about, like, the death of the old school outlaw.
Yeah, the romance is gone.
Totally gone. Unlike those romantic figures we often see, there's no glory, not even much camaraderie in Charlie's world. It's purely survival, disappearing without a trace.
Right. One point we saw contrasted it really well with films like Bonnie and Clyde or Butch Cassidy. Very different vibe.
Very different. And if you connect this to the time, the early 70s, the film also subtly touches on maybe the decline of the American dream.
You can definitely feel that.
You see it in the economic anxiety, the decay of those small towns. There's a sense that the old rules don't protect you anymore. The little guy is left to fend for himself.
Yeah, it adds this layer of social commentary that you might miss at first, but it's woven in there.
And maybe Charlie's greatest asset, which is a theme itself, is his mastery of manipulation. Perception.
Oh, absolutely.
He's incredibly skilled at controlling what other people think he's doing, which is often totally different from his actual plan. That psychological game is so well done.
Which brings up trust, right? Or the lack of it.
Yeah.
In Charlie's world, trust is just dangerous. It's a liability.
Yeah.
Survival depends on misdirection, on outmaneuvering people. It's cynical, maybe, but maybe realistic when you push that far.
Now, no film is perfect for everyone, right? And some perspectives we saw touch on potential criticisms worth considering.
Sure.
One is the pacing. While it's deliberate, it might feel, well, maybe a little slow for modern audiences used to nonstop action.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not rapid fire.
It's definitely a thriller that asks for a bit more patience. Engagement with the strategy.
The tension builds gradually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Through suspense, anticipation, not constant explosions. You have to invest in the plan.
Right. Another point raised. Jodon Baker as Molly. Undeniably menacing, memorable.
Oh, yeah.
But could he, for some viewers, maybe veer slightly into caricature sometimes, potentially clashing a bit with the overall realism?
I could see that argument. Though you could also argue his almost over-the-top ruthlessness really underscores the danger Charlie's in. It amps up the stakes.
Good counterpoint. Makes Molly feel like this unstoppable force.
Exactly.
And finally, the ending. It's undeniably clever, fits the themes, but might feel a bit abrupt for viewers wanting more traditional closure, everything neatly tied up.
It definitely leaves things open to interpretation. Deliberately leaves some questions unanswered. But I think it powerfully reinforces those core themes. Self-reliance, the uncertainty of survival in that world.
Yeah, it fits the movie's whole mood. Okay, so as we start to wrap up this deep dive, Charlie Varrick, what are some key moments, key aspects you'd say, hey, watch out for this if someone's watching for the first time?
Well, what's truly captivating is watching Charlie's intricate manipulation.
Yeah.
Both the mob and the cops.
Yeah, he plays everyone.
It's just a masterclass in subtle tension, watching him stay one step ahead.
Yeah.
And the phone booth trap scene.
Oh, brilliant.
So simple.
Yeah.
But so incredibly effective, impactful.
Totally agree. And Matthau's performance, we've hit on it, but it's phenomenal. It's all in the details, right? The eyes, the silences, that weary cynicism.
That defines him, yeah.
And definitely keep a close eye on how his full plan gradually emerges. It really unfolds like a puzzle. The final pieces click into place in like the last 10 minutes. It's so rewarding.
It really is a film that rewards paying attention. Every detail, every little action, that all feeds into the strategy, Charlie's strategy for survival.
So to bring it all together for you, our listener, Charlie Varrick, it's this remarkably smart, unflashy, and honestly maybe a bit overlooked gem from the Neo-Noir era.
Totally underrated.
Anchored by that absolutely stellar Matthau performance. Cool, cynical, compelling antihero.
Yeah, it's a film where violence is quick, efficient, purposeful.
Yeah.
Where trust is basically extinct.
A complete illusion, yeah.
And where survival isn't about strength, it's about the art of outwitting people.
And it really nails that 1970s crime cinema vibe, doesn't it? The moral grayness, the economic desperation, that focus on tactical thinking over just brute force. And it does it with this clarity, this precision that still feels, remarkably fresh today.
And if you think about its broader significance, Charlie Varrick is just a powerful example of how intelligent storytelling can elevate the whole crime thriller genre.
Yeah.
It proves you don't need huge explosions and constant action to make something really gripping, really suspenseful.
So our final thought for you, as you maybe seek out Charlie Varrick, don't expect a high-octane shootout. That's not what this is.
No.
Instead, prepare for this slow-burn, intensely clever game of cat and mouse. Every calculated move matters, every single one. And in the end, every person is truly, maybe chillingly, on their own. Maybe think about what that kind of stark self-reliance in that morally ambiguous world says about the time it was made. And maybe, just maybe, about the world we navigate today.
Good thought.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.